for Valentine's Day.
Oh, dang, that's right.
Oh, dang,
We
that's
can
right.
we can capitalize on that.
Ding, 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 ding.
Hey, everybody, and welcome to the newest episode of Echo Spective, coming at you not live but pre-recorded.
Direct. Coming at
Yes,
you recorded and
and
direct.
direct. There we go. Hey, Markese, you know what today is?
Um,
I'll give you a
Heart's
hint.
Day?
Hearts
Heart's Day.
Day. Yeah, my hint was going to be a baby with a bow and arrow.
And I was going to say a baby with a diaper. Well, baby do wear a diaper. I was going to say a grown man.
A grown man.
That's what Cupid is not a baby. You know what? We'll keep going on that.
That's
He's
right.
a grown man with the diaper on. Anyway, hi y'all. Welcome to Echo Spectrum. I am, of course, as you know, I'm Markese.
And I'm Nathan. And happy Valentine's Day to all the listeners.
Absolutely. Not to you, Nate, but to the listeners.
That's right. That's okay. I wasn't expecting anything from you.
Yeah, thank you. Not
I do
getting
like
anything.
chocolate though.
Oh, well,
Um,
hey,
so yeah, we're going strong, man. Um, what episode number is this? I think it's like
this
number
would,
7.
yeah, yeah,
Numbers.
we moving along. It
Tell you
is,
what, man.
and we're gaining new listeners. I'm hearing
Yeah,
this. You want to share a little bit of that real quick?
I would love to share. Every other day or so, I sign in to our analytics portal, and I like to see, of course, how the episodes are tracking, but it also has a handy dandy little map in there, and it shows you what your reach looks like. So early on, it was kind of cool to see new states get highlighted, and it tells you how many downloads you have. And then one day we saw uh, Germany lit up. So, that's why we gave a German shout out in the last episode.
Absolutely.
Then a few days ago, I log in and I see we have some Canadian listeners. How cool is that?
Mm,
And I don't even know anybody in Canada. Do you?
no, I don't. I do
So
not at all.
somebody is telling somebody who might be telling somebody else about what we're doing. Um, and then yesterday, I log in and there was a South African uh,
Oh wow,
that
that's reaching.
that lit
That's
up.
across the little pond.
It's down there, man. Um,
Yeah.
and there was somewhere else I can't remember right now, but it's crazy. Like that's just so encouraging, and just to see that organic growth,
Yeah.
it
Yeah, because
it's
sometimes you
exciting.
don't realize how far you reach,
Yeah.
because we are in our little bubble, and it's really hard to kind of manage that. But when you actually see it, it's like, wow, even if it's just a little bit, I can imagine those that's on that upper echelon scale.
Oh, I
Um,
know.
but because I know how I'm like, no way. It's amazing that ears can hear, and sound can travel to where people are interested to what you have to say. And I thank you guys. I just, before we go any further, I just
Oh yeah, big
want to
time.
thank you, and continue. Please spread it out to other people. Let other people hear what we have to say.
Yeah, and I figured at the top of this episode, let's go ahead and talk about how people can get in touch with us in case for some strange reason they don't make it to the end of the episode.
That's right.
Which is
Echospective.com.
That's right. You can go there and it'll take you anywhere else you want to go. Yeah, it's got links in there for all the main podcasting outlets, and you can even find us on some of the ones that aren't main outlets. Yeah, Google could probably help you find out all the other ones. There are too many to list. And you can reach out to us via the website. There's a nice button that says send us a message. You can send us an email.
Yes. Or you can call us at 336-298-8124. That's 336-298-8124.
That is correct. And we're probably not going to answer,
No, no,
but
we're not.
you can leave us a message and let us know who you are and a good way to get in touch with you. And if you have a story to share, we'd love to have you on the show. And you,
Absolutely.
again, you don't have to be like a professional musician or a musician at all. If you just have a story about how music has influenced your life in any way, and we'd love to hear that, and I'm sure our listeners would too.
Yeah, and as you will be able to tell, that we have a broad scope of interviewers or interviewees that we have
That's right.
from all different backgrounds and genres. So don't just think that because of who you are, we may not be interested. We're interested. And if you have a story, as Nate said, we want to hear it. I'm interested,
Yeah.
to getting it out because there are ears out there that your story to you may not be as encouraging because you live it, but when you speak it out to others and others hear it, it may encourage someone to push a little harder. It may encourage someone to change the direction that they're going. I mean, you don't know
Oh
what
yeah.
your story can help someone do. So please, get in contact with us.
And I'll tell you, that's one of the most interesting and exciting things that I've experienced just in the short time of us doing interviews with people is just listening to their stories. And of course, even if we're talking to people that we know, there's still something there that we didn't know about them. And it's been so great to kind of move into that role of the listener and go, man, if I didn't know this person and I was hearing their story, what would be some of the things that I would want to know about them? So interviewing these people and learning more about them. And again, even if they're friends of ours, there's always something you can learn about somebody. It's just really helped drive the way that these discussions go. And it's just been really neat that even though we are facilitating the interview, we're also the listener and learning along with our other listeners. So it's been great.
Yeah. Also, Nate, I'm looking at the website, little cheat sheet here.
Oh yeah.
And I see a little coffee cup down there. What does that mean?
Oh, well, let me see. I don't really drink coffee,
Hmm.
but I like hot chocolate. So maybe
I do too.
that could be a hot chocolate cup. So
Oh,
yeah,
hot
if
chocolate cup. Yeah.
that's right. If you're traversing our website and you see that little cup, we're just call it it's a generic cup. You click that cup and it takes you to a website called Buy Me a Coffee. Um, and that's just a real easy, simple way if you like what we do and you would like us to continue to do what we do. Um, you know, just throw a little change our way. It's no big deal. You don't have to, but if you
And thank
feel
you in advance.
that's right. If you feel like you want to do that, hey, and how much is a cup of coffee? Like, I don't know, $5 or something like that. Again, I don't drink coffee, so I don't know.
Yeah, me neither. So I don't know either.
And if I did drink coffee, we have it for free at work, so I wouldn't have to buy it. But if you are out there and you do buy coffee, maybe one of those days, just don't buy a cup and send that do re mi our way, or not.
Mm.
It's okay. We'll still do what we want to do,
Yep.
but
But
you
it's
can
up
help.
there just in case you want to.
That's right. You can help support the show. Um, so speaking of the whole interview process, Marquise, who do we have this week?
This week we have a gentleman by the name of Reggie Love.
Reggie
And
Love.
and how fitting is to have Reggie Love on
Oh,
Valentine's Day. We didn't
oh
even
my
plan
gosh,
it like that.
we did not.
We did not.
We should
I'm
have totally
telling you,
pretended like we did.
oh guys, and this is straightforward. We as soon as I spoke it, I just realized that
Yep.
it was Valentine's Day. So yeah,
Yep.
but anyway, Reggie Love will be with us. He's a Christian artist, rap artist. And he's going to tell us a little bit about his story, from where he started, where he got in contact with himself as far as with his spirit, with God, and what led him to, to rap, because at the time he started, it wasn't as big as it is now.
Right.
So he was more so, but he was willing. You're hearing this story. He was willing. It wasn't like he, had to get, pulled on a couple of times. He was led and he understood his calling right away. Some of us don't, and he just, walked in it. So he has a really good story.
Yeah,
Um,
it's great.
where he come from.
All right. Well, after this word from our supporter this week, we're going to dive right into that interview.
Dun dun dun.
This week's episode is supported by Shades of Grey Painting, helping customers realize their dreams since 2006. Is that too much to ask for a paint company? We don't think so. Find them on the web at shadesofgraypainting.com. And remember, gray is spelled with an A because they're awesome. You could also call them direct, 336-580-1284. Shades of Grey Painting, your premier Triad area painter.
Opening doors for me, Jesus there for me, keeping me safe and free. The GOAT, opening doors for me, blessing and protecting me. Never scared with the King. The GOAT, opening doors for me, Jesus there for me, keeping me safe and free.
Hey, yo, what's up, everybody? This is Markese, Echo Spectre. We got my man Reggie Love right here. We're going to talk about some music and talk about his life. Yo, Reggie, what's going on, brother?
What's going on? What's going on? It's your boy Reggie Love. Thank you for having me.
Absolutely. Before we get started going good, man, tell everybody your name and where they can find you and a little bit about yourself.
Oh, no doubt. My name is Reggie Love. You can check out my website, reggielovemusic.com. You can also go check out my album and my new single on all music outlets. Anywhere you listen to music.
Yes, sir. You got any singles off that you can share? You can let them know?
Yeah, I got my new single that's out. It's called The GOAT. You go find that everywhere. It's doing pretty good numbers right now. Just need a little bit more support. We gonna get to the top. And then I got another single releasing soon. So it's only up for here.
Check them out, y'all. Check them out. We'll definitely give you that information again before we get out of here. So let's get going, man. Hey, yo, Reggie, tell us about your music beliefs and your talents that you bring to the table and how you got started with it.
Well, I started off in the church doing music. And then once I got to college, I kind of did the college deal. And then once I got out, I was trying to be an R&B and secular hip hop rapper. That didn't fare too well. So I had to talk with God and I'm trying to do this, Lord, what I need to do. And he said, well, you can do this your way or you can do it my way. You can do the music for me and it'll go, or you can keep trying to do it your way. So when he gave me that realization talk, I came up with my first album called Switch Sides. And that's basically what I did. I went from the secular world, and I probably wasn't in it, but more than, believe it or not, 5 to 7 months.
Yeah. Hopped in, hopped out, jump rope style.
I'm in and out of that.
Yeah, I'm out of here. This ain't for me, y'all. I'm out.
This ain't for me. Right.
Yes.
But, that was a transition for me, man, and it's brought me great things. I wasn't getting any shows, doing a little R&B deal, wasn't able to record any albums or anything, but as soon as I switched sides, man, I had a whole album done. I'm doing shows. It just was up, man.
Even though you say you wasn't doing the secular music too long, but I know you started listening to it. But when you heard that voice saying, this isn't for you, immediately jump ship, like I'm all in, or did you have any internal battles with that?
Well, we all like to think we are something until it's proven you're not. And, when it wasn't proven that I was doing, or needing what I needed, it happened quick. My faith in God has always been strong. He allow you to do different things, to go to different places and see it. But once you really get that wake up moment or that realization moment, and you realize you need to be doing it for God and everything that you do, the results are a lot better.
Yeah, I'm definitely with you. You just gotta. That's all about faith. All about taking that faith, taking that, okay, Lord, I know I want to do this, but if you want me to do this over here, then I know I need to be over here. Sometimes the hardest answer is to tell yourself, no, you got to do something else. That's the hardest, because you know what your heart wants and you know what you want, but we also got to realize that he sees far more than what we see. So if he wants us over here, there's a reason why he wants us over here. There's some things that he wants us to do. Sometimes we listen and sometimes we don't. So that's good. I'm definitely glad that you chose to listen, because we wouldn't have, the great work that you have without you listening. So
right.
Tell me.
I like to get one whooping and then switch it up. I don't like to keep getting whooped.
Yeah. You right with that. that hurt. And you can tell me one time. Knock me down one time. I'm good. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Wait, where I need to go, I go get in line right now. So
right now.
But yeah. So tell me a little bit about your music, as far as how you got started, and when you started listening to music. How did that move you to get to where you are, and to get to the spot that you are right now? When your first time getting on stage and and rapping, and you said you sing and you do comedy. I think we've talked before, and you mentioned that you started off with comedy, and I think your first event you was talking about doing a comedy show, and you was rapping. So tell us a little bit about that.
Well, no doubt, man. I could probably say I officially started gospel maybe in 2013. And my first show was a Jokes and Notes tour. It was comedy, comedians there, and it was artists there. Me, I did both. I did comedy, and then I did my music set. And that was like my first ever set. My guy, QS Bullock, he also has a group, QS Bullock and Sacrifice. They put me on. They were doing a show. They say, it's comedy, you can do that, and it's music. So you just go up there, I'm going to give you 30 minutes, and you do what you do. So I did 15 minutes of comedy, and then did 15 minutes of music. It was still in the early stages, man. It was so early, I still had hair back then. But,
man, you tell it, yo. But you know what, though? That's funny you say that, because I think that was big for you for that to be your first, and you got 30 minutes. I think that's I don't know if that's normal, because I know when I've shows before, most artists, you get about 15 minutes at best. And for you to get, 30 on your first show, you weren't nervous?
Well, I mean, I'm always ready to go. Sometimes the heart does beat fast, but you got to control that heartbeat. So, for me, it was just second nature being up there. I'm already a comedian during the day, and I like to sing to myself and in the car and in the shower. So I'm platinum all over.
For that,
platinum all over. But for that, it was easy for me. They told me what I had to do, and when you plugged in at different shows, they give you the minutes. This is my man's show, so he gave me the good 30. He said, how many minutes do you need? An hour, 30 minutes? I'm like, man, I ain't got but 3 songs.
Yeah.
And I got these jokes. So, I'm still early in the
Hey, we'll rock with it. Put that joke on loop, and I just start talking over the beat if I have to. So,
right.
So, but how did you feel after that show? I mean, did you get good response from people coming up to you? I mean, was that the point that you realized I'm going all in, or were you already at that point where, like, you know what, I'm doing this. This is the beginning of what I'm going to do, or was that like a test run for you to see if, okay, Lord, I'm doing this. I don't know if this is where you want me to be, but I need confirmation. But I'm gonna go do this.
Right. For me, man, it's never a test run with God. If I'm doing it for God, that's what I'm doing. So, for that first time, that was a great first show for me. It got me in the game. It threw me up there for 30 minutes. Most people don't get that, like you said. So it got my feet wet early. And, like I said, never doing anything as a test run for God. If God tell me, hey, this is what it is, then that's what it is. I'm not going to see how I like it and then go report back to God on what's going on. I'm going to tell him I'm doing it and do it, and then yield the results.
It's just like that bumper sticker that I disagree with strongly, where it says Jesus or God is my co-pilot. Why you want him to be your co-pilot? You need to be in the co-pilot seat. I'm not. If trust me, if Jesus is in the car with me, hey yo, you want this wheel? I sit over there. Right. You got it. I'll go wherever you taking me. So, but yeah, basically that's what you're saying. When he say, you do. You say jump, you say how high. Yeah.
Right. When you question it, that means your faith wavering. And I don't like to waver faith. I like to keep my faith level strong, keep it at 100.
That's the only thing that we have. Exactly. So tell me this. What type of music do you listen to on your spare time when you either just cleaning up the house or riding in a long drive somewhere? And tell me, does music play, does mood play a role in what you listening to?
Right. Well, for me, I listen to any type of music. Mainly hip hop and R&B, and I go to dibble and dabble on comedy. You know, the Sirius FM let you listen to a whole bunch of different music, and that's the type guy I am anyway. I like to skip when I've heard my parts in the song and then go to the next one. So for me, I listen to anything. On actual days that I have shows, I don't listen to nothing but me. Music does have an effect on people, positive or negative. I can listen to the secular music and it's not going to have an influence on my brain for me to go and rob the next man. It's not going to have an influence on me to go out and disrespect women. It's not going to have an influence on me to want to sell drugs. You know, it's just merely entertainment. And so when you're taking it as entertainment, then you have a different perspective of the actual secular music and different hip hop and R&B music. You have to have a strong mindset when you're dealing with music because it can control you. That's why I know that on my days of shows or leading up to shows, I don't need no music that's going to pollute my brain because the pollution of your brain make you forget your lines and stuff. And I ain't trying to forget no lines when I'm on stage. So I make sure that I don't pollute my brain with anything other than my music on game day.
Yeah, I agree with you. And kind of thinking about when you was talking about listening to music and listening to all types of music and the art form of it, you know, being that you're a Christian rapper, I know a lot of people may hear that and be like, well, you ain't supposed to listen to secular music. But I think me and you and I, we've talked about this before about, you know, watching TV shows. You can't listen to Tupac, but you can go watch Poetic Justice.
Right.
Or you can go.
Right. Perfect example.
Right. So, you know, that's one of your favorite movies, but you play a Tupac album. Oh, turn that off. That's the devil's music. How you feel about that?
Right. Well, you know, I always like to say it's all what you can control. You know, if you can't go to the club and not have a drink, that's on you. So guess what? Don't go to the club.
Yep.
If you're tempted by these things, you can't control yourself when you're in that environment. That's what they made that rule for you. So it's not that, oh, you in church, but you going to the club. If I'm in the club and I ain't drinking, you know, and I'm just in there having a good time, then what's wrong with that? You come to church, you better be at church, because if you could go to the club, you can go to church. That's my old saying. So the people that's deep religious in church, you're pushing people away from the kingdom, which is the devil tricking you. You so righteous and almighty that you can't see that you being tricked and pushing people away, but you should be bringing people in, telling them, oh, you did the club, you shouldn't come to church. No, they need to come to church, because if they can be in that club, they need to be in church to get that word too, because you're polluting yourself with everything wherever you go.
In all honesty, the most people that's in the clubs on Friday nights, Saturday nights, they in church on Sunday.
Right. And the deal is, why they can't come to church?
Yeah.
You ain't supposed to be doing that. You ain't supposed to be pushing people away.
But then,
you getting tricked.
Yeah. That's it. So,
you saved, though, still. That's cool. I get it.
Yeah.
You ain't saying you ain't going to heaven, but you getting tricked.
Yeah, you getting tricked. And you tricking others. And that's
others.
And that's a reflection on you, because when you stand before, you're going to be asked, why did you trick such and such? Why did you know better? So,
well, when did I trick them, Lord? Well, when you sat there and ran about telling them they was no good because they in the club on Saturday and they come to church on Sunday, you were tricked and you deceived them. So that pushed them away. You was a soul you could have saved right then, but you pushed them away. All I need you to do, and all God is asking us to do, his will, is show love and give love. And when you do that, you have great outcomes. When you don't do that, is when you have issues.
Well, one of the greatest commandments is, you know, love thy neighbor, treat your neighbor as yourself. So, you know, you wouldn't want nobody to put you down for, you know, you ain't out there, like you said, you listen to the music. They don't make you want to go rob a store. They don't make you want to go, you know, disrespect a female or woman. You know, it don't make you want to go do drugs because you listen to it. You know, it's the mood, it's the moment. You know, it's just like watching a good movie. You watch a good movie and you walk away from that movie like, man, that was awesome. And it's over. It's fake. It's a facade. It's not real. Same thing when you listen to music. It's just like, it's an art form. People have these imaginary stories that they telling, that they putting behind the beat. Or we can take it as far as poetry. You know, Edgar Allan Poe. You know, read some of his poems. You know, you can go in detail that some of these poems are taught in schools. And they are graphic poems. But rap music or R&B music, you can't listen to it. So, I just wanted to get your thought on that, because I always interested in how people deal with, especially Christian artists and Christian, you know, performers in that field. How do they deal with that? Because I know it comes up a lot. you can drive up or you can listen to me. Oh, you ain't supposed to be listening to that. So I just wanted to get your take on how you dealt with stuff like that. So
you deal with what you can deal with. I'm gonna deal with what I can deal with.
Yeah, it's just
what
like
I eat ain't gonna make you go to the bathroom.
It's just simple as this. If you don't like it, turn it off.
That's it. Unfollow me.
You ain't gotta blog it. You ain't gotta talk about it. You ain't gotta put me down. If you don't like it, just turn it off. Go to what you like.
That's it.
So, but yeah, okay. Tell me your if you can remember your first time, or give me a story about around about the first time when you first heard music. Something, whether it's a song, maybe back in the day, Run DMC or James Cleveland, whatever it is, a song that kind of reflects, and you like, you know what, this song right here. Every time I hear this, it's like a movie. Every time you see a movie on that you like, you've seen it 20 times, but you keep watching it. Is there a song that you can hear over and over again in any genre?
Man, it's a lot of them, man. I probably say, when I was a kid in that era, we was learning songs. We had to record it on a tape and then try to play it back and learn it. But I can remember my first song, and I was influenced by music. I'd probably say like LL Cool J, guys like that, because I learned that whole "I Need Love" song. That was a whole 5-6 minute song to learn.
Oh yeah, they don't make them like that no more.
Man. They don't make it like that no more, man. And that song right there, that made me want to be a singer or a rapper right there, and I didn't even know it. But most of my, listening to him, that right there was like, wow. I listened to LL Cool J, Shy, Blackstreet, all of them. I had all of
that era of music. I would say was people don't understand, and I know back then it was the 70s when people was like, man, the bands, and that was, but I don't think we knew at that moment what type
was in it.
I didn't, because you look back now. And like you said, the Blackstreets and and the Shy and Guy, right. Man, that era was just true.
They were singing.
That era was just awesome. So I definitely remember that, and for you to have that same background, R&B and rap kind of really started to like mesh together, with the Method Man and the Mary J, and and I think that those types of songs to get more involved. And honestly, for me, I didn't know any really gospel rap artists back then that was like on the level of the artist that was the secular artist. And I used to buy Christian rap albums, and I was always I had albums because I would really search for them. And back then, they didn't have, this was early 2000s for me. Right. And it was hard to find that. We didn't have the internet as we have it now. So, I had to order. And hearing your story and, growing up in the same era that I grew up in, I kind of understand, listening to that type of music, man, it's just, it really can. Because you think of it now, all they doing is sampling the stuff that we used to listen to.
Right. That's why it's jamming to us now. So if you listen to the Sexy Reds and all them, it's going to hook you because they're using the beats and stuff that we used to listen to. So you might not like what they saying, but them beats they using is and that's what make them get catchy quick and get blown up, because they just recycling the beat that they know was famous, and now they just putting it on for the kids and what they want to hear these days.
Absolutely. So, yeah, man. But that's awesome. That's an awesome story.
Let me add something to that, man, because at the end of the day, I'd probably say, that was the rap and R&B side, but definitely I did have a gospel influence as well. I had the Kirk Franklins and different guys like that. I didn't really know names, but I was hearing the songs, because obviously we didn't have the research. But, I was hearing the songs. It wasn't later until I got to college. I was like, oh, that's what song this was, because I was in the LimeWire download your song, make a CD type deal. So I was able to be like, oh, that was the song name.
Right.
And I finally started getting all those old gospel songs. But I'll think back my first one gospel song where I first did a rap. I figured it out. We did the song. It was called Time to Make That Change. And then, we singing the song, and then I just come out and do my part. And that's when it changed the game for me. And I didn't even know that, that's when I first did a gospel rap, was when we did that song, It's Time to Make That Change.
Man, that
back
is
home
awesome.
In church, I was in high school. That's 2003.
Okay. Okay. See, that's awesome. That's a change, and that's a game
Right.
changer. That's something that, you can relate to, that you found, that you're like, okay, and I'm with you too, with the Kurt Franklins and, and the Donnie McClurkins and,
Right.
all the, the Yolanda Adams,
Right.
that era. Cause honestly, that era
Fred
too.
Hammond.
Yeah. Oh
Fred
man.
Hammond was
Commission.
killing it.
Commission,
Right.
Take Six.
Man.
Take Six was fire back then. People, you don't hear too many Take Six groups. Well, actually, I don't think any. I think there's one group that's out that's acapella. Is a group of them. But yeah, Take Six and BB and CC Winans. That era was
Right.
just that too. So that whole, and all of that was around the same time, and I think that
Right.
that molded a lot of us. To have the ear for music that we have now today and be able to see that. So that is awesome. So let me ask you, finish this sentence for me. And this goes to, let's put this in the mind of all types of music that you listen to, anything that you listen to. Finish this sentence. Music today is.
Yeah, the music today is just evolving. We went from live instruments to tracks to samples, and it's just going to continue to just keep getting better. They're going to keep developing different drum kits. I mean, now that everything's digital, you can pretty much play any type of drum pattern you want to do, and they figuring out the different frequencies in the music that attract different ears, and now the game is even better. If you know how to manipulate frequencies with the music, now you change the game, because you're like you said before, I'm able to alter moods by the different frequencies that's being played in the music and the beats.
Yeah, pretty much now you can have your state of the art studio in your bedroom.
Right.
And
Pretty much.
Yeah, instead of
The one thing you don't got is an engine in your bedroom, and that engine is the one that's pushing your music, blasting it everywhere, getting it to all the radios. I think T-Pain says 200,000 to get a number one, or a chance at a number one.
Wow.
That's promotions, everything. But it makes sense, because I heard Master P say the same thing, almost like it was 100,000, and all you had to put up was 20,000, and they're gonna do the rest.
Wow.
Or you'll get that much of a percentage. So what he did is he put up 80,000, so there wasn't but 20% left for them, and he would get 80. So it was kind of crazy how that whole setup worked, and it makes sense though.
Yeah. Yeah, it does. It does. So, but man, I appreciate. But one more thing I want you to go over. We talked about this off mic before, and I want you to share it with us. We spoke of a webinar that you're working on. Share that with us. And what's that about, and how can people reach out to you to be a part of that webinar?
Well, first off, we do have a webinar coming off, and if they want to reach out and get a hold to me, all you have to do is email us at reggilove2020@gmail.com. That's reggilove2020@gmail.com, and let us know that you're interested in the webinar. The webinar is for any upcoming artist, any new artist, any artist that's already out there. We bring you in, we show you different techniques on how to promote yourself. We show you how to get your name out there. Now, it's not going to make you $1 million, but it could if you just follow the plan. But it's mainly to help those artists that are coming out. They don't know how to get their music out. They don't know how to get their sound. They don't know how to get shows, different things like that. And what we're going to show them is how they can do that.
Do you help with the music too, or just the marketing side of it?
I don't want to release too much, because I know my partner, we're talking about it.
Okay,
so it's going to help you out on the music part and the media part.
So
it's going to be a lot more to it. It's definitely in workings that we're going to have it where you're going to be able to see the media part of it and the music part, and then the business part, so that you can promote yourself and get yourself out there as a brand, because you're just branding. That's all it's about, branding. Right.
Well, you heard it first, guys. So definitely, if you're interested, definitely check out Reggie Love, and when he gets those things going, I'm sure if by listening to his words today, he definitely has the ear and definitely has the heart to put you at least put you in the right direction. Now, he said he can't make you a millionaire, so don't get mad at him if you go by the plan and you still sitting on the stoop that you started with. Right. It's all on how much you want to work. So my last question of the day, brother, is this. A world without music would be what?
No sound.
Ha! Yes, sir. And that's it, guys. Thank you for listening to Echospective. I'm Markese. This is Reggie Love. We had him, man. I appreciate you. One more time, brother. Tell everybody how they can get in contact with you.
If you want to book me for any shows or get any more information, make sure you check out reggieLove2020@gmail.com. And if you want to go to the website, make sure you go visit reggielovemusic.com. And on all social media, hit me up, ReggieLove2020.
Got it.
Opening doors for me, blessing and protecting me. Never scared with the King, the GOAT. I run and not be weary. No fear, cause you were with me. Gon' walk and not gon' faint. Your love strong like a tank.
I just love hearing these stories from people. And you're probably sitting there listening to this going, stories like this is the second one. Now I'll tell you, we've been talking to a lot of people and we've got some stuff stockpiled. So you definitely subscribe to the show, follow it, like it, make it a favorite, whatever you got to do, so you don't miss any upcoming episodes. But yeah, talking to these people that we've been talking to, I think one of the overarching themes that I'm starting to see grow, and especially in Reggie's story, is that if you feel something inside of you that is pulling you, whether you want to call that a calling, in Reggie's situation, he felt like God was telling him what he needed to do. If that whole thing isn't your thing, maybe there's just this passion within you, this fire, and you know that you were built to do something, to go in a certain direction in your life. It's just, I've been so encouraged by hearing people who have done that. and it hasn't been easy.
Right.
Sometimes you want to hear those stories and you go, well, they just decided to follow their calling and then everything was hunky-dory after that. But
you don't get to the meat and potatoes of it. You don't
yeah,
get to what pulled them into making the lifestyle that they've chosen, and it's powerful, in Reggie's situation, how, he knew the sound of God in his, in his heart and in his mind. And he just said, this is my call and this is where I need to be. No question asked. And don't look back. A lot of people, they look back and, and then they wonder what if. And it seems like in his story, he has no what if. It's, I'm doing this and there's no other option. That's strong faith right there.
Yeah. And, he's fine with not, I mean, obviously he wants people to listen to his music and he wants to obtain some level of success, but he knows he's not going to be Usher or anybody like that,
Mm-hmm.
And
Yeah.
I think if you come to terms with what your reality is, given your skill set and your opportunities, and you go, you know what, I'm doing what I love to do, and it's within the confines of what's realistic. That's all I can expect, and to be happy with that. And that's hard. I mean, I deal with that kind of stuff all the time in my own life, wishing for different outcomes or better success, or to be a touring musician, or whatever it is. But I hope that you, the listener, as you're listening to this right now, if there's something going on in your life and you need to make a change, like let this be that encouragement for you to go, oh, you know what, like, I'm hearing these other people and their stories and they did it, and it's not going to be easy. I mean, it might be, but probably not. Probably not.
Probably not. Yeah, absolutely.
but like you said, like, you don't want to live with the what ifs. I'd rather try to do something I know I have a passion for and then find out that it's just not in the cards than to never even try
Yeah.
and just live the rest of my life going, oh man, if I had just done it. And I know that people had different circumstances, and I'm not saying like go quit your job and go be a roadie or something. I mean, maybe I am. I don't know.
Yeah.
Maybe being a roadie pays better. Who knows? But you know, you're going to have to look into as an individual, look into your own life and go kind of what makes sense for me, especially if you have a family. Like you just can't be like, all right, I'm gone. Um, but you know, look at your circumstances and look at the things that you're actually able to achieve. And, you know, maybe this is the year that you go out and you start living your dream.
Yeah, stand in it. Stand in what you believe in, and go after what it is that drives you. Um,
and again,
you
you might
know,
find out that it's just not going to work out.
yeah.
You know,
But you
sometimes,
never know. You
yeah,
never know unless you try. I mean, you never know, and give it an honest try. You know, do all the things that you. A lot of times, it's the same thing that you've been doing for somebody else. You know,
yes,
you're capable of doing
yes,
it for yourself.
yeah,
So
maybe that,
is really not a big difference. I mean, of course, things are going to be different, but the work and putting in the effort is the same. You know how to do it. Just like he started off rapping. He was a LL Cool J fan, and he started off rapping, but his rap didn't change when he started rapping for Christ. He knew how to rap.
right.
He just changed his rapping. So
Yeah,
your move may be something else. You may know how to do a certain type of thing, but you have this burning feeling inside that you want to do it. Well, do it.
yeah, yeah. Maybe that means you start your own company.
Yeah,
Maybe
yeah.
that means you start a podcast or you
Mm,
start a YouTube channel or I mean, and it doesn't even have to be something that big, you know. Marquise, I just think speaking personally between the two of us, I I think you and I have experienced a lot of pushing off
mm,
potential opportunities
yes.
because we were kind of okay with living with the what ifs. And
Hmm.
then it just got to the point where we were like, you know, that's not okay because my thoughts are always going to drive towards that feeling. So,
Right.
you know, I know for myself, you know, I've thought about the podcast thing for a long time. Um, but sometimes you get worried about how things are going to be received, or you go, man, anyone even going to care? Is
Yeah.
anyone
Is
even
it
going to
worth it?
listen?
Because you think of the time that you had to put in, and you start thinking, well, is it even going to be worth it? Because
Well, and then
I
you
could be
say,
doing something else.
well, what do I have to say that anybody's going to care about?
Right.
And once I kind of got to that point, I was like, who knows? I might have something to say that somebody's going to care about. People we know might have something to say that somebody's going to care about. And as we're starting to see, like we mentioned at the top of the episode, somebody in Canada cares. Somebody in Germany cares. Somebody in South
Hmm.
Africa cares. And
Yeah.
and you know, you start to see those just small wins and this movement towards that goal and it's like, "Oh, okay. Now, are we going to be as big as the Joe Rogan podcast or you know, ESPN stuff or uh, Armchair Expert or stuff like that? Probably not. But those people also have their celebrity that are driving their podcast
Right.
success. So, like, we can't compare ourselves to that. And if
Right.
we did, this would probably be our last episode.
Yeah,
we,
it would be short lived
yeah,
because
we'd be like, you know what, guys?
our own expectations would be just too high. I mean, come on now.
Yep. But you know, again, like I
Not
was
saying we
saying,
wouldn't welcome that one day now.
right?
However, we do
Buy me a
understand
coffee.
reality. Yeah, we
Right.
do understand
Yep.
reality.
Like I was saying earlier, you know, jump out there and try that thing that you have a passion for. but also be realistic about it. But don't let the fear of that reality keep you from trying to achieve a dream. You know, Michael Scott said that you miss 100% of the shots you never take.
Yep. Absolutely.
Or was that Wayne Gretzky or Larry Bird or somebody?
Well, whoever said it, they were right.
That's right. So, well, I think that wraps up this week's episode. So once again, happy Valentine's Day, everybody. I hope nobody ends up in the doghouse.
Yeah. Happy Valentine's Day. And I'm Markese, y'all, man. And we got some great stuff. And I do thank you, man. That was a great interview, man. So guys, don't forget, check us out on all social networks, Facebook, Twitter, the X, Instagram. You can send us a message through email. Also, you can call us at 336-298-8124. That's 336-298-1. Excuse me. That's 336-298-8124. Check us out, man. I enjoy y'all. Hey, Nate, you got something you want to say?
Thank you all for listening. We have just so much in the chamber, locked and loaded and ready to go. I was doing some scheduling the other day, scheduling of releases and scheduling of interviews. So the wheels are turning, man. And yeah, reach out to us. We'd love to hear you. Until next week, I'm Nathan.
I'm Markese, Echospective.
That's right. See you next time.
This day in music, in music, in music, in music, in music. This day in music. This day in music. This day in music. This day in music. February 14th, y'all, and it is Valentine's Day. Y'all already know what it is. Happy Valentine's Day to all of you that have Valentine's and all of you that don't have Valentine's. And happy Valentine's Day. As we continue on, I'm going to give you my gift, which is This Day in Music. Let's start it off with 1965. Otis Redding, recorded RESPECT. Respect. But check this throwback story out, though. It initially was written by Otis Redding for Speedo Slim and his band, The Singing Demons. And no, that song never came out, but he wrote it for Speedo Slim and his band, The Singing Demons. But it didn't work out so much, so Otis Redding went ahead and recorded it himself, which also he had some help for all of you true R&B heads out there, the guitarists from Booker T and the MGs, Steve Cropper. He helped produce that track and made it top 5 on the R&B singles chart until none other than the great Aretha Franklin came and made it a #1 hit and a feminist anthem 2 years later. Isn't that crazy? Man, I bet you Speedo Slim and his band, the Singing Demons, yeah, they were singing. But can you imagine how that song would have went if Speedo Slim and his band, the Singing Demons? Would we be talking about respect? You know what? This day in 2019, Kanye West hired a great in the jazz lane, y'all, Kenny G, to play the sax in a room full of roses for Kim Kardashian as a Valentine's Day surprise. She did not even know that she was going to walk in a room. Close your eyes for a second. Remember, just imagine you walking in a room. You open your eyes, there's a room full of roses, and then all of a sudden you hear Kenny G just getting it, just in it. Just Kenny G spotlight just on him and spotlight on the roses. Man, who said love was dead? Go ahead, Kanye. Huh? Oh. Okay. This Day in Music, 2003. In 2003, stolen reel-to-reel studio recordings by the Beatles were found in Australia. Are you serious? Police found the tapes of the band's 1968 The Abbey Road and the White Album. Get this, after they were advertised for sale in a Sydney newspaper. Really? All they had to do was wait a couple more years. They could have got Facebook, Dex, and music. But the scammers gonna scam. Even they were hustling back then. 2003, not that long ago. They were selling it on a Sydney newspaper in the wanted ads. Can you imagine opening up your newspaper and you seeing, hey, I got some 1968 rare Beatles reel-to-reel. Yeah, the police came and said, yeah, give me that right there. That's us. Right there, that's us. This damn music. February 14th, 1999, Lenny Kravitz scored his first UK single with Fly Away, and it went number 12 in the US. It also won him a Grammy for Best Male Rock. Go ahead, Lenny Kravitz, L. Kravitz, L. Kravitz, L. Kravitz. This damn music, 1992, the film Wayne's World featured appearances from Meatloaf and Alice Cooper, premiered in the US. Freebie alert. The song Bohemian Rhapsody by Queen boosted the song to number 2 in the US charts. 20 years after the song was released. 20 years after that song was released. It hit number 2 on the charts for the first in the US. Wayne's World did that. This day in music. In 1987, check this out. Bon Jovi started a 4-week run at number 1 on the U.S. single charts for his song, Living on a Prayer. This was the group's second U.S. number 1 and was number 4 in the U.K. This day in music. Hey, yo, check this out. 1986, February 14th, Frank Zappa appeared on an episode of the television series Miami Vice as a crime boss. Yeah, I remember that. Frank Zappa, yo. 1986, this day, 6 in music. Let's go. 81, the Funky 4 plus 1. It was 4 dudes and 1 girl. Became the first hip-hop group to appear on a U.S. national television show when they appeared and performed that song, That's the Joint, on Saturday Night Live. The show was hosted by Blondie's Debbie Harry, who later asked the group to open up for her on a tour, but the CEO, Sylvia Robinson from Sugar Hill Records, she was like, no. And y'all know the famous Sugar Hill Records, that, you know, that was one of the first hip-hop record labels. Sugar Hill Gang was on it, you know, Funky 4 plus 1, you know, That's the Joint, which is a classic hip-hop song. They performed on a Saturday Night Live for the first time, the first hip-hop group to perform on live TV. Funky 4 plus 1. This day in music. February 14th, 1976, U.S. singer-songwriter Janice Ann received 461 Valentine's Day cards after indicating in a song lyric of hers at 17 she had never received any. So she got 461 Valentine's Day cards, 1977, just because of a song at 17. In the lyrics, it says she never received them. So the fans were like, all right, well, you got some now. Some now. Yep. Hey, so let's do some birthdays for February 14th. Who was born on Valentine's Day? Valentine. Hey, how about Rob Thomas with Matchbox 20? He was born 1972. Happy birthday, man. Let's see who else was born on this day. Let's go with Gregory Hines, American dancer, actor, choreographer, and singer. He was considered one of the most celebrated tap dancers of all time. Gregory Hines, 1946, February 14th. In music, rest in power, my man. Away August 9th, 2003. All right, so let's go with Maceo Parker. He was an American funk and soul jazz saxophonist, best known for his work with James Brown. He was born 1943, February 14th. Happy birthday to all you out there that having a birthday on Valentine's Day, and hope you get double gifts. This is coming to you in music from this day in music. Oh wait, I got one more special day in music to get to you. In music, let's do February 14th. 1973. David Bowie was knocked unconscious and carried off stage after an excited fan rushed the stage. He was excited enough to where he knocked David Bowie unconscious and carried him off the stage at a concert at the Radio City Music Hall in New York City. Get this, he was performing the name of the song, Rock and Roll Suicide. Marinate on that for a second. Got it. That was the final song of that show, and that's the final information I'm going to give you on this Valentine's Day, February 14th, 2024. I'm Markese, Echo Spective. See you next week. This day, in music, this day, in music.
Echospective was recorded and produced in Mockingbird Studios, brought to you by Markese Burke and Nathan Sieg, and in part by their respective families. We thank you all so much for pushing us to strive for excellence. And we thank you, the listener. Your support means everything.